My YouTube home feed has been absolutely littered with one thing and one thing alone lately, and that's the gospel message of the Steam Deck OLED. So I got one. It seems like everybody who has one swears by it, so I gave in to internet peer pressure and got myself my very own SDO. You can only say that if you own one. So let's attack this video from a non-biased, non-sponsored perspective because I'm totally willing to return this device if it sucks. Uh-oh, it's so good, I'm gonna keep it. I'm pretty much a noob when it comes to the handheld gaming space, but I've been playing consoles for years. I've had a gaming PC for the last 2 years. It's pretty beefy. But for actual context, I'm a dad and a work from home business owner who doesn't have a lot of time to sit down at the command center for gaming. At the end of the day, I just kind of want to chill. We'll talk about how it works together with my PC here in a second, but I wanted to throw the OLED into the ringer, so I took it on a 4-day trip to Nashville, Tennessee for a work conference convention thing that I was at, and I downloaded a variety of different kinds of games to test while I was there, just to get a feel for what this thing can actually do when it's disconnected from a beefy PC. So these are the very early first impressions and thoughts from a moron on the Steam Deck OLED in 2026. Is it worth it? Will I actually keep it? Are there any cool little things you should know that maybe you haven't heard from the other millions of videos out there? Probably not, but I'm Zach Mayfield, and let's talk about tech with intention. Let's start with before my little work trip thing. I got it, obviously, and unboxed it. It was a super easy setup experience. Compared to the ROG Ally Xbox thing, that's my only comparison I have with handhelds, and this was a night and day difference in terms of simplicity of just setting the thing up. Yes, it takes a while to download your Steam library based on whatever games you choose, but other than that, everything else was so smooth and simple. Steam OS as an experience is fantastic. It's just really easy to navigate. Even the way the buttons and stuff are set up on the Steam Deck OLED is great. You can press down on the Steam button and then use the right trackpad as a little mouse cursor thing. Everything's just laid out plain and simple. It's nice. Even the sound effects are nice. My first gaming test was starting out with Hollow Knight. I have been seeing everything about Silksong and stuff, so I was like, whatever. I thought maybe I'll give it a shot. I never play games like this. I'm usually just an FPS guy, so I really want to take this opportunity with the Steam Deck to explore new gaming avenues, especially more laid back, chill games, different style of games, story games for sure. So I started playing that, ran perfectly on the Steam Deck, but that's not gonna be the hardest test of the hardware. So it's time to take this guy on a trip. I was in Nashville, Tennessee for this huge photo convention. My other YouTube channel is a camera-based channel if you're interested, but essentially this convention was for one of my biggest sponsors of that other channel, and I brought the Steam Deck as a companion just in case I had some downtime or needed to escape people and just kind of reset myself without doom scrolling. We'll get into that too. I got absolutely balls sick. Ow! I was down for an entire day, which really sucked, but I was so glad I brought the Steam Deck with me. There's a game I've been wanting to try for years now called Detroit Become Human. It's a story-based game where your choices affect the game's ending and characters. There's tons of different endings, and I've heard about this game, I've seen clips, and I always wanted to try it. So now that I'm sitting here in the hotel room balls sick, I decided to whip out the Steam Deck and play Detroit Becomes Human. I toggled the performance overlay on so I could see my frames per second. I tried locking it at 60 with all the graphics at the lowest possible, but still the deck couldn't quite handle it. Like, it could play, but the frame rate was jumping around a lot and there was some massive stuttering and even a couple crashes. So I chopped it down to 30 and the game ran pretty dang good. Obviously, it didn't look great, but I was still fully immersed in the story of this game, and I'm like full-blown obsessed right now. It's super, super cool. Now the best part, I didn't even realize this until after my trip, but having the Steam Deck with me kept me from doom scrolling the entire trip. Obviously I had to be on Instagram sometimes for work stuff, but other than that, I was just playing games when I had a little bit of downtime and didn't have extra social energy, which was so nice, like to actually get immersed in a story or just do something that's like a little more of a tactile, enjoyable experience versus just melting my brain on Instagram reels, which, dude, sometimes are hilarious, I'll admit.
I am the watermelon, Pepsi
I originally heard about this doom scrolling versus gaming idea or theory from a channel called Cyber Dopamine.
Gaming handhelds like the Steam Deck, Legion Go, Xbox, Allies are great ways to spend your free time, and using them as an alternative to doom scrolling social media has some really big benefits to it.
I wanted to give this a shot, so I really didn't let myself get on Instagram. And after that long day of just recovering and chilling, playing some games, I really do think it's true that playing games, especially story games versus doom scrolling, is absolutely a way more healthy alternative. It kind of feels like reading a book in a way. Obviously, like, you're seeing flashing images and stuff, but the games I'm playing require like a decent amount of reading, and I like to explore the maps and take my time with them, so it just felt like a way more relaxing, enjoyable experience. Whereas sometimes when I'm on social media just scrolling, it feels like I'm holding my breath, and then I like get done after 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is, I'm like, whew, I feel tight. Whereas playing games, story games, just like relaxes me, and it's fun. So a few days ago, I got home from this work trip. I was absolutely exhausted, but I had one thing on my mind in relation to the Steam Deck, and that is PC streaming. So Steam actually makes this incredibly easy. You can just go into your, I think it's like Steam Link settings, and you essentially just get a code like you're pairing your phone to a Bluetooth speaker. It pops up on both devices, you type in the code, and then they're synced together, which is awesome. And that means that as long as I'm on my home network with the Steam Deck, I can actually stream the quality from my PC to my Steam Deck and just get so much better performance from the games I'm playing. So obviously I had to test this right away with Detroit Become Human because I had that at the lowest possible settings. So I was essentially able to run high and ultra. I chose to go with high because it's such a smaller screen, but I could run high and ultra settings on Detroit Become Human on my PC. I have a 4070 Ti Super in this computer and 32 gigs of RAM and some other stuff I don't remember because my friend built it for me basically. But playing this level of graphics and quality on the Steam Deck with no latency is absolutely insane. Now, once in a while, if the Wi-Fi does kind of like drop out a little bit or something, I might have to disconnect and then reconnect to the stream, but the PC keeps the game going. So it's essentially like disconnecting from the stream and reconnecting, but that didn't happen very often. So the experience has been amazing. When I'm at home and I don't want to sit at my desk, I can still be playing Helldivers with the boys in amazing quality, or a story game just crushing graphics. It's insane. It's really, really cool that this is a feature. Also, I'm gonna be interviewing Polidroid very soon. He has a Steam Deck channel that I've really been loving lately because he also comes from a filmmaking background. I'm gonna be posting an interview with him, just a little hangout chat on my Patreon and on the YouTube channel memberships. So if you guys wanna become a member or join the Patreon, that's gonna be coming soon. So what I've kind of learned after all these quick tests, I guess, is this device is incredible in so many different ways so far. But one thing that I wasn't expecting was the ergonomics. It's just so cozy. Like, I heard people say it's a great feeling handheld, one of the best, but I didn't realize just how lightweight it is, but it doesn't feel flimsy or crappy. It's just like ultra cozy. Like the buttons are all laid out in a perfect place where your hands rest. And I feel like something a little bit underrated is the back buttons on the deck. So I come from FPS games, like I mentioned, and I like being competitive, stuff like that. So I have controllers with paddles and things like that. If you've ever played with back paddles, you know they gotta be specific. And the Xbox ROG Ally and the Ally X only have 2 programmable custom buttons on the back, which I thought was a pretty huge miss, especially for the $1,000 X version. There's gotta be 4 buttons on the back. For those of us who never wanna take our thumbs off the sticks, you wanna be moving, aiming, and reloading, crouching, all that at the same time. And you can actually do that on the deck. You get 4 programmable buttons. So I just remapped my YBXA buttons to those back ones so you can play shooter games as God intended, and it feels incredible. Not only that, but the battery life is good. The speakers sound pretty good, although I've been testing a new pair of headphones for these. I think I saw a guy named Naptime something. I'll put it on the screen. He recommended these little caster in-ear monitors. I come from the land of like music background, and I wasn't expecting them to sound good, but they're actually pretty good for how freaking cheap they are. I got the ones with a mic, and if you're gonna play games on Discord with your friends, you could probably just use this. So yeah, everything's great. The trackpads, the haptics, the buttons, the performance, especially when you're PC streaming. But the best thing that I've noticed is that I'm freaking gaming again. And I'm spending way less time on my phone.
Send this to a white boy who likes black men. Slow your roll, tighty whitey.
So to me, that sounds like using tech with intention. Let me know what I should try out on the deck next. New games, accessories, should I run over it with my car for durability tests? Anything else, let me know in a comment below, and make sure to text me when you get home so I know you're safe, and watch out for deer. Shout out to Nolan Natasha, our most recent patron, and also Jake Hayden, our most recent YouTube member. Really appreciate your guys' support. If you can't support, we have a free Discord server, and also you can follow me on Instagram for adorable toe pics. And remember that you guys are so much more loved than you might even know. All right, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.